All right, and we've been recording for a while, but I'll cut the video somewhere around here.
Gotcha.
Okay. So this is our camera here. You can say hi there.
What's up, guys?
All right. This is the 4th anniversary episode of iHearIC Radio. And we're following tradition here. We've got Duroje back for another anniversary episode.
Hey, yo.
So here's Duroje. We haven't done an episode of this show. I haven't done one in like probably 6 months.
It's 6 months
or something.
Yeah, yeah, I miss these, man.
It's hard to. So I could go back in the studio. I'm wearing my KRUI shirt for anyone who can see the video. But they've got, they're being careful about COVID. And so, it's kind of hard to regulate, like, bringing guests in. And, like, if I wanted you to come in and play trombone, like, you can't wear a mask and play your trombone. So that...
Not ideal.
They wouldn't like that.
No.
And it's all shared microphones. It's a shared, very small space. So, like, it's hard to make it work with the kind of show that I want to do. I don't just want to go in and just play, like, files every week.
Exactly.
I want to bring people in with me. And that's hard to make work in that space. So I don't really have access to the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really doing any live performances. So that was kind of the bulk of this show. That's the reason iHearIC exists, is for these monthly shows that I'm not doing right now. So there's less to talk about. There's less motivation to, like, produce these. It's just not happening.
Yeah. But hey, man, I'm glad I'm here, man. This is I've really been looking forward to just being able to do this again. It kind of feels like a right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I figured, even if I haven't done an episode in 6 months, like, we got to do our yearly.
We got to do our yearly
episode.
checkup, man.
Yeah. So I've been doing on and off iHearIC Radio since October of 2017. So this is 4 years.
Wow.
I forget the exact date. It might be like the 20th or something like that. I'll try to put it out on the exact date of the anniversary, but
I'll put it on my calendar too.
Yeah. Duroje and I are just hanging out at my house. This is, I think you said, the second time you've been in my house.
Second time I've been in.
So welcome to my home.
It's a beautiful home.
I tried to vacuum up as much of the cat hair as possible this morning before you came over. But I mean, I know you know how that works with animal hair. It's
absolutely.
Like,
I have a litter box to clean, man, so you're good.
Yeah, we got to clean ours later today too. But yeah, the cat hair, it's like, especially Weasel, that white one. Yeah, her hair is just like constantly just one of those. It just comes off of her and it just floats around the house.
Yeah, gotta love it.
And we can't keep up.
Actually, Walmart. I feel bad endorsing Walmart.
This is an official endorsement.
It's an official endorsement. Exactly. Save money, live better. But they have one of those things you can put in your laundry that takes out all that hair. I thought about getting that, but Sarah's like, Duroje, can't be just spending all your money at Walmart, so we didn't get it. Yeah. But I kind of want to get it, though.
Where would she prefer you spend all your money?
For the baby. And, I think after this, I owe her some Little Debbie snack cakes because I gave them all to her friends' kids. So, I'm trying to be a good host.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where our money's going to be going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you brought it up. So this is something I wanted to talk about, is that since the last time we talked to you on the show, your wife, Sarah, she got pregnant.
She got pregnant. Yeah.
So,
that happened. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Who are you apologizing to?
Humanity, man. I don't know. No, man. How's she doing? Like, 33 weeks as of yesterday. Mm-hmm. The doctor says it's 34, but we're just going to go by our internal thing. So 7 more weeks, man.
So she thinks she's 1 week less far than the doctor?
Yes,
thinks?
1 week less far. Yeah, I think.
Why does she think that?
I don't know. I don't know if she's like necessarily thinks she knows more than the doctor per se. No, I know my wife. I know how she is. I love her, but like I don't know if it's. I don't know what the deal is, man. I mean, I just kind of like roll with it. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've been taking these Lamaze classes. I think that's what it's called, like at home, and that's been weird.
That's like where they teach you how she should be to like, get through it smoothly.
Yeah. I remember. I'm gonna give my wife crap, but like yesterday, like they're instructing the coaches, the fathers or whatever, on how to comfort the wife, or whatever, and like this is terrible. But I can't remember the last time I gave my wife a massage or anybody. Yeah. But when I tried to do it, she said that I was terrible at it.
Yeah. Are you too rough?
I think so. Yeah. Like no, at first, like I was kind of timid just because I wasn't sure what I was doing. And Sarah's like, you suck at this. So like I did it harder. And then she's like, no, just stop. Yeah. Just watch the show. So, man, it's, that's been weird. I think the funny thing though I think the evolution, I guess, to being a father or what have you hasn't happened yet, but I feel I feel like a lot of things have been changing for me in terms of, I don't know, man. Like my priorities have definitely changed. I think my priority for health has definitely changed a lot. In fact, like I went to the doctor a couple days ago. They told me that my blood sugars are going down. Oh yeah, that happened a couple years ago. I'm diabetic, but that's something that, when you eat too many little Debbie snack cakes and you go to the ice cream place on the way back home, that's what's going to happen.
Too much sugar,
man. Yeah. Can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things that just kind of caught up to me as I get older, as I have gotten older. Like I kind of think of it in terms of like, you and I raised Pokemon together, Justin. So like, as you get started on the journey, you got your starter Pokemon. Of course, that's somebody that you want to keep with you. Your Charmander, your Sobble, your Trico, whatever you got, that evolved into like your Pokemon that you've had ever since your journey. That's somebody that you want to have with you the whole time. But you're gonna have that Pokemon with you. You're also gonna have some other Pokemon that you're gonna catch along the time that will get you from gym to gym. Uh-huh. But you know what? There'll be some Pokemon that are just not gonna be in your party the whole time. They'll just kind of sit in your box.
Oh, this is a metaphor for sugar.
Oh my God, it can be. No, I mean, like that could be wow. I was talking about people, but I mean, but like, you have people that are like in your lineup. You know what I mean? Like people that, as people get older or whatever, and as like, as I'm going through this next stage in our lives, you have like, whether it's people or whether it's like ideas or ideals or, things that are important to you, that is like your lineup. You know what I mean? Like the things that were your lineup before, like, being popular in school or, things like that, of course that's no longer a thing, or like getting a better job. I feel like for me, like these things have been constantly evolving as is my lineup. And like, I think that's probably the biggest thing that's been the big adjustment for me, where like even getting a chance to do this, I'm like, oh yeah, music is, collaboration, just getting to commune with people like you, like that's important to me too.
Right.
So I think that it's kind of been a full circle kind of thing as like I'm getting, as I'm going through this whole, fatherhood thing. I hope that my son, is able to have a good example, with me. Good luck to us all. I'm not going to make sure he's diabetic. That would be terrible. I got to have him switch from cow's milk to to almond milk for starters. My wife does not.
Try to get him into vegetables early.
Exactly. Yeah, that's for real. Exactly. Yeah, man. But thank you for asking. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So your imminent son's birth is sort of changing your perspective.
Exactly. Because once he's out, it's kind of like group. It's kind of like that project you were that test you're not supposed to cram for. That when that test comes, like, oh well, here it goes. I'm like, shit, I didn't study. So
yeah. Do you feel prepared?
No.
Yeah.
the thing
I don't know if you. Yeah, it seems like it'd be hard to ever feel prepared.
I think that's kind of that's the thing, though, right? It's like I feel like okay, my wife has Sarah has me reading these books I'm supposed to be reading, but I don't read them. Like I think I initially went hard. I'm like, you know what? Like after the fifth month or whatever, oh boy, I need to read some of these books. It's coming up, but it's like. I think I got the idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, that sounds terrible.
You can read like the titles of the chapters or something.
He's like, just had a white baby's ass. Now we'll figure it out. Like exactly. I have enough of a mental image in my mind to kind of get an idea what to expect. I feel like but in all seriousness, a lot of things that I'm going to experience is just going to happen,
Yeah.
And of course, if I have any questions or if things happen, I won't be too shy to say something or whatever.
Yeah. You have parents.
Exactly.
They have experience.
They have experience. Yeah. Obviously, there's two extremes. I'm not going to go in there just like blindly and wait to see, I'm a drop a kid, if I went by my instincts, for God's sakes. But if like,
you're going to have to like strap them to you.
Exactly. Yeah. And I can't use my D strength on like everything, I can't like, the baby's porcelain. So, like I have
a gentleness.
Gentleness. Yeah.
Well, the mistakes you made with the massage thing, maybe that can help.
That could actually,
hone your, like understand how much pressure you're using.
Exactly. I don't want my wife to be like, you suck at holding this kid. So,
you suck at holding a baby.
You suck at holding it. It's like, I'm just going to take this away. You just, I'll just wake you up when it's over.
Yeah.
When he's like an adult. When he just like, you just pay for a child and I'll just like tell you how it goes.
Yeah. You and Sarah can take turns.
We can take turns.
There's different stages of life that you can handle better, maybe.
Exactly. I think, that's actually a good way to handle it. Like right now, with with our son in the belly or whatever, in her belly, not our community, we don't share the belly. It's hers. Right. I don't deal with that. She can take care of that.
Some people do say like, we are pregnant. Do you talk about it like that?
Yes. I mean, sometimes, but it sounds kind of hokey.
Yeah.
I like, we're pregnant. I'm like, no, like that sounds kind of like the people that share like Facebook accounts. Kind of reminds me. Yeah. Oh, we're pregnant. We're gonna go Dutch treat on food and stuff. I mean, Sarah and I do that sometimes too, but it's like, no, I mean, it depends. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I guess I do say we're pregnant. I do say that a lot. I'm hypocrite. Yeah. I just feel icky when I say it sometimes because I'm like, Sarah's the one that's doing the work.
Right. You don't want to take credit for it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I helped obviously, but it's like she has to deal with like all the pains and aches and scrapes and all that stuff.
There's only so much you can help with.
Exactly. Yeah. And so much I would want to help with, so trust me, when that baby's born, man, like, hell, I should bring my son to next year's thing, and
that would be so cool.
He can probably be better at trombone than I'll ever be. I'll tell you that.
He would be, what, like 10, 11 months by then?
Actually, that is correct. Yeah. He'll be 10, 11 months by then, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That's old enough to go on a podcast.
I think so, yeah. I think for an extra special podcast, we can make an exception.
On Rock Hard Caucus, we had Natalie's daughter.
Oh, nice.
She interviewed her on, like, they did like a 10-minute thing once. But she was, I want to say, like 4 years old at the time.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, your son can get, like, he can beat the record for youngest podcast guest that I've had.
Can he have a plaque and all that, too?
Yeah. We'll make him a little certificate.
That'll be my biggest accomplishment, youngest kid to be brought on the podcast. That'll be dope, man.
Yeah. So, you sent me some music that you had made. We've got instruments here, so we can break up our conversation with like,
what do you think?
Music stuff.
I would love to, man.
Do you want to maybe I can play one of these files and we can kind of ease into it?
Let's do it.
So we don't have to play ourselves yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you sent me 3 tracks. Let me pull up my app here. And I think 2 of these I may have heard before. I don't know. But you sent me 3. Oxford 3 a.m., Sesame Street Counting Drip, and is it Zois? Zois. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference for which one we listen to now?
Let's see. I'm trying to think of the best way to kind of go about it. So I want to start with Sesame Street Counting Drip. Let's do that one. Yeah. I think Zois will say for the end. Sesame Street Counting Drip. So this one, all right. So once you hear it, you may or may not get it, but like this started, so the name came from a Sesame Street, like, how Sesame Street, they'll have like these weird counting music videos.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Thank you. Yeah. Exactly. Where like they'll be like 1, 2. Where like they'll have these anthropomorphic, numbers and letters and stuff.
Yeah.
Like these, like it's like you're on an acid trip, but with numbers.
Yeah. This episode of iHearIC Radio is brought to you by the number 4.
The number 4,
not the letter.
Number 4.
We'll do the letter D and the number 4.
D4. Yeah. Yes. So I actually yanked this from one of those counting drips, and kids say drip because, it's like shoes or whatever when it comes to music or shoes, all the cool kids say it. So that's my way of being cool. But like this came from, I was watching we used to watch Sesame Street all the time, and there's this main riff when they did this counting drip or whatever, and like, it went like boom a ding a ding a boom and then like it's like this is like kind of neat, and then they had like this grown man like singing something over it, and then like they're like 1, 2, and like it was so trippy, but like the music, so like that's kind of where the impetus of that came from, and I can't find any of that like on YouTube or anything like that. It's just Elmo and being tickled and stuff like that. That's really all you can find, or anything like that.
Were you watching Sesame Street recently? Is that how you?
No, I promise you, not recently.
It's just something you remember.
Something I remember. Like, I was 5, 6. We used to watch it all the time as a kid, and there's a lot of interesting like music and stuff like that, and like a lot of different ideas musically that kind of. When you listen to like Sesame Street, like I remember when in the early 90s they had like this New Jack version of like the Sesame Street song or whatever, where they're in like New York City, like they're definitely in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like this is fire, that's the stuff that I grew up on, and like I was a nerd. I wasn't watching like, I wasn't watching Are You Afraid of the Dark or any of that.
Too scary.
Yeah, it's too edgy. I went to Catholic school, man. I didn't, I wasn't like these public school kids watching that garbage. I was watching Sesame Street.
Yeah.
I didn't stop watching Nick Jr. until I was like in 5th grade. Like I watched Teletubbies until like I went to middle school.
Well, Teletubbies was pretty cool to watch.
It was
such a weird show.
Exactly. I think so. But I think I got away with it because I had 3 younger brothers,
right.
But I kind of I low-key enjoyed it, like I say, I like Teletubbies, so.
Well, we can talk more about children's television after we listen to the song. Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, so this is Duroje's Sesame Street Counting Drip. I'll try to fade it in naturally here. There we go. That was Sesame Street Counting Drip by today's guest on the program, Duroje Gwamna. I think the right channel in my main line here on the mixer is messed up. Did that sound right to you at the beginning? That stereo stuff? Initially, yeah. Actually, no, that's... It did? Okay.
Yeah. Right. Definitely, cool. There was definitely some weird panning stuff I I tend to do with everything.
All right, cool. Yeah, it just sounded like the right channel was too quiet or something, but maybe it's fine. Anyway, so you were telling me before we listened to it that this is like a memory of a Sesame Street segment.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So like everything from like the boom and then the na 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 whatever, you know, like that. Those two components were from that specific counting song, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I did one version of it where like I did like the 1 through 10. It sounded too hokey. Like this is not for educational purposes whatsoever. Right. You know, like people know how to count. Like that's dumb. So like I figured, you know, I took that out.
You could use the counting version and play that for your son.
And play it. Oh my God. Yes, I can. We could do that for next year. You know, like here you go, son. This is how you count. You know, I made a song just for you.
Yeah.
I could, right? No. But yeah, that's those and honestly, yeah. If the funny thing is, I bet if you listen to it now, I'm like, man, this is not nothing or whatever. But like, I guess in a nerdy music theoretical kind of thing, what I really like about, especially that whole thing, that specific counting drift or whatever, is that it uses chordal harmony. You know, like I like anything with like a. You know, where it's, you know, stacked like that. You know, it kind of implies like, you know, there's going to be something that's going to be resolved. You know, it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's neither here nor there, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, suspensions, they do sound cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
String a bunch of suspensions in a row.
Oh my God.
It's an easy way to like drive music
things
forward harmonically.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, I feel like with everything that I write, I tend to like just slip kind of like suspensions there, even like when I'm not thinking about it, just because it's such a, you know, it's like garlic. Suspensions are like garlic, you know what I mean? Like it's in every sort, I mean, maybe not microtonal stuff, but like, you know, it's in like garlic's in everything, you know, sort of suspensions. Yeah. You know, whether you know it or not.
Tonal music, yeah, suspension is a very oft used tool. Yeah.
I guess with the food analogy, you don't want to eat atonal food. You know? So
man, what would atonal food be?
Yeah, right.
You just grab ingredients at random.
I guess,
or maybe not at random, but you come up with some sort of system.
I guess if you watch, like,
and it's not about necessarily like the taste of the ingredients.
No, it's not.
You make like some sort of alternate logic.
You can make,
I like this idea.
I do. We can make a 12-tone thing based off just random foods, like you know. Yeah. You got carrot, you know, like edamame, you know, pizza. I don't know. Well, it could be expounded upon.
The idea of like inversions and retrogrades with food.
With foods, yes.
Like the inversion of a carrot is like, well, carrots grow under the ground, so what's something that grows above the ground?
That grows above the ground. Yeah. Right, exactly. And that's orange and like, Woo, this could go somewhere pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would adapt the like retrograde idea. To food.
That is true.
What's backwards food?
Like, what is backwards food?
Throwing up?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't know if we want to, I don't know if this is the right place for this conversation. Maybe the atonal food, maybe the 12-tone atonal food doesn't really apply.
Maybe not every concept will work with that. Yeah. It's not a 1-to-1.
But, you know, we could, you know, we have some weird friends that we can probably play around with this idea with.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, there's like a John Cage played like with food as instruments sometimes.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah,
dude.
And you can use potatoes as batteries and stuff.
Actually, you know, that wasn't there one piece like, you know, with the Dadaist thing where like not John Cage, but I don't know if Dr. Carson had told us about one piece where the composer. This is something very theoretical, or else it'll be a huge lawsuit. But like. They were instructed to fire a cannon at the
danger
audience.
Music.
Yeah, danger music. Yes, yes. Definitely illegal homicidal music.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's art though.
It is art. Yeah, exactly.
You can break the laws and like be very
and call it art
when it's art. Yeah.
Could the atonal? Well, here's the thing. Could the atonal food thing be art then? You know, in a weird way.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think
idea of it.
Cooking, like a lot of times, cooking is like a kind of art.
I think so.
Not my cooking. My cooking is very utilitarian.
Very utilitarian. Yeah. I just put a stuff on stuff.
Yeah, bean. Microwave the bean and I eat it.
Exactly. You know, I know what it's supposed to do. So.
I don't put a lot of effort into, my nutrition, sustaining myself.
Oh, clearly I don't either. I mean, that's how I got to this place in the first place.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we were talking about sugar, and I've actually been trying to like cut back on
good for you,
my
man.
Sugar consumption too.
Here's a video fist pound. Here.
Well, I'll put a big explosion sound effect.
Please do.
Fist bump.
So like how, especially man, you're close to gas stations, you're close to Arby's, you can get whatever you want.
Yes,
how the heck are you to be able to do that?
Yeah, I mean we've got that BP station just down the block.
Tony, man, that's dangerous.
And I love pop, you know?
Right.
Like if I don't like make an effort to not drink it, like I would just drink just Mountain Dew all day.
Oh, absolutely.
No water. Replace water with some sort of like sugar chemical. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, like as a kid, like I was enamored by all the different Mountain Dews. Oh, this is a Mountain Dew, Live Wire, whatever, like
there's a lot of good ones.
There really are. Yeah. Like it's unfair, like how is like all these fun flavors like bad for you? Like it makes no sense. I mean, I guess you can get like Diet Coke, but it's like it's not the same.
Well, that's kind of what I've been doing. So all the like last year when I was mostly unemployed all year. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm not getting any of the like incidental exercise. Like I'm not walking into work. I'm not like lifting stuff at the theater,
Yeah.
So and what little exercise I was doing on my own like wasn't making up for it, Like going on walks for a long time. Walking doesn't burn fat very much.
No.
It turns out.
No.
So a lot of my inactivity and like my love for sugary drinks was catching up to me,
Oh, did I hear you?
And I don't mind, like, I wouldn't mind, like, being a bit bigger. Like, I don't care, really.
Yeah.
But what bothers me, though, is I don't want to buy new pants. And they were starting to get a little too tight and uncomfortable. So that's what really, like...
That was kind of like the big wake-up call.
That was my breaking point. I was like, I don't want to buy new jeans.
Right, because that shit is expensive.
Yeah, so
Oh, my goodness.
I've been drinking, like, the 0-calorie stuff.
Yeah.
Which I don't hate as much as I thought I would.
Right. Well, like, I was going to say, like... how my wife turned me on into like Diet Coke and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, I'm like, this tastes awful.
It's not as good.
It's not as good. Exactly.
I'm not gonna kid myself.
Exactly. If I want something delicious and carbonated, I'm definitely definitely going to go for the real stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but now of course I have no choice, right? But it's like, I think as kids, you're like, yeah, that's gross.
Yeah.
We're kids. You can drink whatever you want.
It makes sense that stuff exists now, though. Like, now I get it.
Exactly. I think that now that we become more health conscious as a society, and just in general, like, you don't really find many people are like, yeah, man, let's go. I'm sure people like drink and stuff like that and smoke, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like there's a big emphasis on like, yeah, let's eat the most unhealthy stuff just because we can and we have all the spare time in our hands.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, you're hanging out with friends or whatever, and it's like a once in a while thing. But just for a living, you know what I mean? Just like, hey man, then again, it's like, I don't like to like prepare things. I hate doing it, especially like a good lunch or whatever. So I'm not gonna lie. Like I'll take my hour or whatever and I'll get all you can eat sushi, and come back, like I will not kid myself.
Yeah.
But like, even like, fast food or whatever, it's like, I don't know. I feel like they're coming up with more creative ways to get people back in there personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still go back.
They're offering some like less awful choices.
Less awful choices.
Yeah.
Cause like, I think as we were little, it's like, we knew that was the stuff. We knew that was hot stuff. But now it's like, they're like, please come have some fries.
Yeah. Fries,
know.
I think are not good, right?
No, I don't think there's.
We probably shouldn't be eating those.
No. Oh yeah. You mean, yeah. No, I don't think so. Now I'll tell you what though, potato Olays, we had some for lunch.
Oh, man.
Dude, that would jack up my blood pressure.
This is top tier.
Oh my God. Top tier on top tier, especially with some of that, nacho stuff. My God.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got the 6-pack and the pound. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could eat that whole thing by myself. Like, it's almost too good.
That's a lot of food. I don't think I could do that myself.
Right. And then for all those that are working food service, we got our support,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't go to work.
Don't go to work. Yeah. Please don't do it.
Shut that place down.
Please do. Yeah. Grabbing where it hurts, man. I
love all the strikes and stuff there.
Oh, dude. I love it. Great. Dude, it's like, I'm just waiting for demand to be made. That's all I care about. Like let's go.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
It's a good time for it. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We got some leverage. Yeah.
Yeah, I really do think so this time. Like, we were at Taco John's. We were waiting there for like 20 minutes, and there was a sign. I'm like, let's go. I'm loving this.
Well, speaking of the different Mountain Dew flavors, so
yes.
KFC has their own Mountain Dew flavor.
You're kidding.
It's called Sweet Lightning.
No.
It's like peach flavored.
You're kidding.
It's great. I like it.
Is it really?
Yeah. And
oh my gosh.
A few weeks ago, I don't go to KFC very often.
Right.
That's like, Yeah, that's a lot. But I went there because I was like, I would like to have a little bit of that mountain.
I'd like to have one.
And they were just straight up closed. And it was like prime dinner time, you know?
Right. But they were actually like closed, like nobody was there?
Yeah, closed.
Wow. Dude. Did you have you ever had any of like their, like these people, like everyone's making like their new chicken sandwich anymore?
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, those are dangerous.
It's very simple.
It is really, exactly.
It's chicken on bread.
Chicken on bread, exactly. You know, but it's like, we're just drawn to like these new things, man. I remember a couple of years ago, it's like, well, the chicken sandwich war, man. Have you had the chicken sandwich? No, I haven't had the chicken sandwich. I'm always like, well, we're not gonna.
I remember when the Popeyes one came out, people were going nuts for that.
Exactly.
I don't think I ever had that.
It was like getting a PS5 for God's sakes. You know, I'm like, dude, like, what's the wait for? You know, wait an hour for chicken sandwich.
Did you hear about the Culver's thing they did? I think yesterday or the day before. Might have been Friday, yeah. They made a curd burger.
A curd burger? No.
So it's a burger, and then there's a cheese curd that's like the size of the burger patty.
You're kidding. We don't endorse these trans fats things, by the way.
Well, this was a one day only thing.
Oh, it was a one day. Yeah.
I imagine they'll probably do it again sometime. But.
I also imagine, Justin, you could probably make your own curd burger by going to Culver's and ordering some cheese curds and just doing, you know.
It won't be like the one like mega curd.
It won't be the mega curd. Can we open a store and call it the mega curd?
Mega curd. And it's just like the big fried cheese. That's all you offer.
Yeah, just a mega curd.
The least healthy restaurant ever.
Yeah. Sign me up. Actually, no joke though. Like if I'm going to go to like a gastropub, as all the cool people call it, I'm definitely ordering cheese curds.
Yeah,
like, with some ranch.
They're nice.
Like,
no ranch for me. But.
No, oh man, I hear you. But cheese curds by themselves.
You like ranch?
You know, if I were given a choice between that and some blue cheese, definitely the blue cheese.
Yeah.
You like blue cheese?
I can tolerate some blue cheese.
You tolerate some blue cheese.
Yeah. Ranch I hate though.
Is it? You call yourself an Iowan? No, I'm kidding. What about ranch that you don't like?
I just like, since I was a kid, like I also don't really like mayonnaise.
That's fair. I know a lot of people that don't.
Yeah, it's sort of like the creaminess, and there's also like the tanginess to it.
Yeah, it makes no sense being the way it does.
That
right?
together is like really gross to me.
Exactly. Yeah, you think about tangy stuff. You don't really think about something that's white and also like probably bad for you. It's like this mystery. Like even though you know it's like oil and egg, it's like
right.
You're going to get me to not like mayonnaise, by the way. So that's perfect. Probably shouldn't be eating that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I've been trying to limit myself to like one of the full sugars a week. Like once a week, I can do the real stuff.
How do you feel about ice cream, though, in terms of sugar? Speaking of which, that's my weakness.
I'm not as habitual with ice cream.
That's probably a good thing to not be habitual with.
Yeah.
On our way back to our house, and you know, we live in Oxford, not too far from Tiffin. There is an ice cream stop. I swear to God, it's like a drive-through place. And like I'm telling you, man, it just draws you in. Mm-hmm. And they'll like, okay, first off, it doesn't help out I'm the only black person in that area. Yeah. So I'll explain. So like when I was going through the drive-through, right? You know, this is bad. So like, I think they recognized when they heard my voice. When they saw me, they're like, "Oh yeah, this guy comes in a lot." So they gave me a punch card.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And like, you know, it probably could be, you know, because like I go there a lot and I get their ice cream, you know, not because I'm black, but I'm sure that's part of it too.
That's part of why they remembered you.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Like it's Tiffin, Iowa, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? But their ice cream is good. Joe's ice cream, you do amazing stuff. So keep doing what you're doing until you're closed October 31st. So I might be going there after this.
Yeah. It's one of those that closes for a season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And their blizzards, they're called Clipper Whippers. Yeah, and I think Culver's, they're called concretes. They're good stuff.
Freddy's also has concretes. I don't know if you've been to Freddy's.
I don't think I've ever been to Freddy's. No, sir.
There's one here in Coralville. There's also one downtown on Iowa City.
Oh, that one, yeah. Is that place any good?
It's all right.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to Sparty's?
Oh, yeah, it's in that same place, right?
That's what's in the old Sparty's location. Yeah.
Sparty's
was great. I love
Sparty. That was one. Yeah, that was when we were at West Music, that was like one good thing, you know, when we were there, you know, we hit up some Sparties. Yeah. That place is dangerous though.
Well, it's gone now.
It's gone now. So that danger is no longer there.
I would rollerblade from West over to Sparties.
To Sparties?
I need it, yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
they have good Chicago dogs, which I like a lot.
Oh, man. Yeah. I need to definitely hit up some Teddy's. Maybe we should all go there sometime.
Freddy's. There is a Teddy's too, though.
That's what I get.
The one by Gabe's, right?
That's right. The one by Gabe's. Yeah. So there's Teddy's and then there's Freddy's.
Yeah.
God, okay. That's confusing as hell. Nice.
Well, do you want to maybe try to play some music together?
Let's do,
we can, like, improvise some stuff.
I would love to.
Yeah, so you've got your trombone, I've got a guitar here, and I've got this pedal, which I guess I can demonstrate a little bit here. Yeah. I think I just have it on, reverb and delay right now.
Okay. I love me some reverb and delay.
Yeah. If anyone listening has been following, sorry, it's hard to understand me when I have that going. If anyone listening or watching has been following any of the like music I've been making for the last year or so, I've been using this pedal a lot with like the Unblessed Rest of Us and stuff. So I've got it hooked up to my mixer here so that I can send any of our channels through the pedal, and then it'll come back through here. This is a pedal I bought from my friend Brent Whiting when I was, I think, 17. We were playing music at a church together, and he would play acoustic guitar and I'd play electric, and I was always using his pedal. And eventually I was like, hey, can I just buy this from you? You don't use it anymore.
It's like, you know what's up.
Yeah, so thanks, Brent, for selling this to me I'm older than that. Like 13, 14 years ago. Yeah.
So is that a looper and is a pedal? So what all does it do?
I don't think it has a looper. I don't actually know all of its capabilities here, but it's got like a compressor. It's got different kinds of overdrive, like a wah effect. I also got it's on a pitch shifter right now with the pedal part. Ooh. So I can talk down here. You can talk down.
Oh, that's gonna be goofy. I love
it. And then there's like delay and reverb effects on it too.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't have everything memorized, and it's hard to really know what's going on with just this tiny display. Yeah. Just this little square there.
But, the fact that it can do so much in that one pedal, that's incredible.
It's pretty good, yeah. People prefer to have, like, separate, like, pedals for all their effects. Which makes sense when you're like,
I guess, like, if you're performing, like, hey, I want...
You want to be able to turn stuff on and off, like, real quick.
But if you got time on your hands like you do, like, it's nice to have something that can do whatever you want, basically.
Yeah. That's pretty good, yeah. So if you want to play into that for a second, make sure that your level's okay.
Sure thing.
You still have that mute in. I don't know if you want.
Oh that we don't want the mute in. That would kind of defeat everything. I'm trying to get this thing to. Can this lock this way?
Twist that part. There it is. Yeah, that'll hold it in place. Yeah. This one though is broken. So this one I can just.
It just has a mind of its own.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right. Yeah. Give me a couple notes there. That's a little too much. Okay. I think that's about right. I may need to adjust as we go, but yeah, if you want to play for a little bit, I'll get the guitar up and I can join you.
Sounds good.
Do we want to decide, like, do you want to play like in a certain key signature or just go for it?
Just kind of go for it, yeah.
All right. Yeah, you play something and I'll try to join in.
We'll make it work.
Okay, that was fun.
That was fun. What do you want to call that?
Oh, you want to come up with a title for it?
Let's call it. Yeah, I feel like that was definitely worth something. That was worth calling something. Calling that something.
Yeah, I don't know. Could you hear the pitch shifting stuff? It looked like that might have thrown you off a little.
A little bit. Yeah, I feel like the word. I think the term Bowser needs to be thrown in there. Bowser. I feel like Bowser was in the underground. All his Goombas are dead.
Yeah.
His Koopa, he's wondering what the hell happened. We got the Mario thing.
It's like Hitler in the bunker.
Hitler in the bunker. Yeah, I feel like, with our video game sensibilities, it started out pretty pastoral, like Link's about to save the world again. Mario's about to go, to Mushroom Kingdom, do some stuff. He's about to catch Pokemon. And then he got the underground, some funky shit's happening,
Yeah.
Like, I think that's kind of, and then like those two things just start to clash a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
That's, something. And then it just kind of fades away.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I said the Hitler in the bunker. What is
Hitler in the bunker. Yeah, I think
I don't want to call it something named after Hitler, probably.
No. But you know what? Hey, this is your show.
Bowser's final moments.
Bowser's final moments.
He's going to die.
He's going to die. That's even worse. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
I don't think he ever dies canonically, right?
Not canonically. No. Although, if you think about it, if you play some Mario games, they're hella violent. Like, if you think about it, like, you got this anthropomorphic. I hate anthropomorphic anything, especially anthropomorphic food. Especially
really?
If you watch the movie Sausage Party. You think
I've never seen that.
It's probably best you did. It's just like the idea of like it
looks pretty bad.
Like your vegetables or like, your hot dogs talking at you.
Yeah.
And you're about to eat them. It just doesn't sit well with me. So it's like, you got Mario though. Anyway, he's killing these anthropomorphic mushrooms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, man. They're just following orders. Yeah. But like, but with Bowser canonically dying, I think it was like with, you have a 3DS, right? Did you have a 3DS?
Yeah.
Did you ever play Super Mario 3D World?
3D Land.
3D Land. Yes, that's what it is.
One,
yes.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
I loved it too. So, when Bowser falls into like the fiery soup?
Yeah.
Have you noticed? And this is, once again, you think this is Nintendo, that it's supposed to be for kids.
It's for babies.
It's for babies, right? It's for our son. So, like, you see, like, there's a little skull and crossbones after, like, Bowser's body, like, disintegrates into ash.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty metal. And then you see this skull and crossbones, and Mario's like, yippee! I'm like, dude, you just murdered somebody.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to celebrate, man. Like, you got your princess back. You don't need to kill somebody.
Yeah. Well,
it's ridiculous.
There's like that theory that like everything you see in a Mario game, they're like, it's like a play.
Yeah. Right? Yes.
Like Mario 3 has like the curtains.
Has the curtains, yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it has it has all like all the stage stuff on there. Mm-hmm. That's by far my favorite Mario game.
Mario 3? I like Mario 3 a lot. Yeah.
I honestly, like, I play on my Switch, you know, if I've been playing Super Metroid a lot, but I do forget about Mario 3 on there.
Yeah.
I prefer.
It seems like most people who are like really into it and have played like the whole series, it seems to be like between Mario 3 and Super Mario World.
What do you think about Super Mario World?
I think it's great, but I never played through like all the like secrets and stuff.
Same.
You know? Yeah.
It's a more intricate game, but Mario 3 was simplistic, you know, and for anyone that thinks that Mario World is better than Mario 3, we can have a conversation, you know, we can talk over some anthropomorphic food if you want to, but I mean, I'll hold strong to my Mario 3 beliefs. Cause Mario 3, you had the warp whistle and like it's, you know, of course Mario was hard as hell, the first one. Second one, we don't talk about that. The third one, like, it just brought it all together. It was just a great game, you know, with the Tanuki suit and everything. Yeah.
It's also interesting to, like, compare, like, those games. All on the same system. It's all NES.
I know.
But, like, they got so much better at, like, utilizing the tools like, available to them.
Yeah. Yes. Do you ever remember playing, there's a Batman game on the Nintendo, Return of the Joker? I'll send you some video about it.
On NES?
On NES.
I don't think so. The only Batman game I remember really is one for the Genesis, and it was like based on the Batman cartoon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I remember playing that with my dad, and it was really hard.
Oh, it was hard. Yeah. But if this is the same one that we're talking about, the music in that game was ridiculous.
Yeah. I
knew you would like the music. I feel like you should you should put like a link or something to that music because like it was made by, actually I can tell you something. The guy that created the music for Adventures of Batman and Robin for the Genesis.
Yeah.
He did the music for Borderlands.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like, it's kind of got like this electronica kind of vibe.
Right. It's not really anything like the cartoon.
Really at all. Yeah. It's like, dude, what the hell? Yeah. It's like, you know, it's like, again, a bunch of people never played. I mean, but despite the fact that it had nothing to do with the cartoon, it happened to be a very good game.
Yeah.
But like, it was not like a Batman game in that sense. It just happened to have the same skin, but it was a very good game.
It was like a beat 'em up. Right?
It was exactly. Yeah. You could throw batarangs, electrified batarangs, and like, it was really kooky.
Well, we were talking about TV earlier. Did you watch a lot of the Batman animated series as a kid?
Yes, I did. Okay.
That music is awesome too. The Shirley Walker score.
I did not know it was Shirley Walker.
Yeah, she's really good.
There's it's just funny. So the Adventure of Batman and Robin, it just reminded me though of
that's the name of the game, right?
Yeah, Adventures of Batman and Robin. Yeah. Yes, they're the TV show. There's this one clip that I just had me dying. So Joker, he was in prison or whatever, and like I don't know if you remember this, but like this guy, like he's like this regular guy. He was about to shoot the Joker. He was about to finally, you know, get the Prince of Crime or whatever. And Joker, you know, like he's backing up. He's like, yeah, we can talk about it, you know. And he's Batman, and he calls for Batman's help. Oh no, I thought it was
because Batman can't, you know,
exactly.
He can't let the guy die.
He can't let the guy die. Like he just, he just, gets off on it or something, you know. He's like, I need you. I need you, Joker, you know.
Yeah.
Let's just keep this between us.
There's something very wrong with Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne needs some other hobbies, man. Just like leave the city alone, man. Just like you're a billionaire, man. Just go on Shark Tank for God's sakes. Like you don't need to be doing this, man. Like, go to space with Jeff Bezos.
Imagine Bruce as like Mark Cuban.
I would die. That would be quite the scene. Oh God, that's almost as good as our atonal food, 12 tone thing.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne Shark Tank.
That actually kind of writes itself.
I don't know. I love Batman and like all those stories are great, but yeah, he's not someone to emulate.
No, he's not. Like a tortured soul doesn't even describe it. Like the dude's got dude needs to figure it out, man. Like, you know, damn, not a good father too, man. You know, like look at poor Damien, man. Damien's messed up.
Yeah, yeah. How old was Damien before he even met his father?
Right? Wasn't he like a teenager by that point?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe even younger?
Yeah.
Although, despite all the shit we're talking about Batman, I'm definitely playing Gotham Knights when it comes out. Have you heard about that?
I saw that they just like released a trailer about that or something.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it though.
I think if I'm ever lucky enough to come across a PS5, that might be
find one.
Find one, right? You know, our son might be a teenager too. Who knows? Yeah. So,
you want to listen to another one of your tracks here?
We're in a goofy mood. There's a song that let's listen. Speaking of Gotham, let's talk about my city of Oxford. It's called Oxford 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
This is something it's a song I wrote this weekend.
Oh, you just finished this?
Okay. I did. Yeah. It's kind of like a house that you know, that's still in construction. It's not like it's done with construction, but there's definitely some things that are wonky about it, you know, like
about your house or the town.
Definitely the town.
Okay.
Love Oxford, but boy, yeah. Yeah. It's weird that I'm living in Oxford, man, but like, no, it's all right. But this,
you mentioned earlier, like you're the only black guy.
Actually, according to Wikipedia, I'm one of 27 black people.
Yeah.
Now that could have been before the census that could have been.
That's probably off of like 2010.
2010. Yeah. So it might have gone down. It might actually have gone down to
that would be sad. Yeah.
That would be hilarious. Are you kidding me? Like, dude. But I don't think I've run into any other black person in Oxford besides like myself in the mirror, like, you know, and soon to be my son. So, I mean,
you're about to double the population.
We're about to double the population, or actually increase it by 50%. Technically,
right.
Actually, no, by double. I think you're right about double technically. But this song,
we're gonna do a whole thing about that.
We could.
A single drop.
A single drop, right? Yeah, exactly. A single drop. No, dude. This song though, it's not like it's not finished. But it's definitely something I just like, you know, I just wanted to put out there just because like I could definitely put in like a B section. I could put like an outro. I love a good outro, you know, but it's just something that, you know what? It was 3 a.m. and I wanted to create something. Yeah. It's goofy.
Yeah.
I will give you that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's try it out. We'll listen to Oxford at 3 a.m.
Got out of bed, yeah, put down the switch, yup, and I wrote this song. Trombone's dusty, I don't practice, but I wrote this song. 3 in the morning, eyes are burning, I am tired of the song. Time for second breakfast, and then third breakfast, and then for fourth breakfast. I'm kidding, I'm diabetic, I can't be doing that.
I'm so fast you can't even talk about it.
So what you guys are about to hear is something that is produced by my companion of 12 years. His name is Buddy. Here we go.
can't even talk about it.
There it is.
Were you recording that trombone stuff at 3 a.m.?
I did. with my silent brass. This is by Yamaha.
Okay, so it probably wasn't that loud.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, my wife would be like, Duroje, stop. I think I would have scared the cats. They were definitely enamored by, they don't see me practice, so like, as I said in the song, so they're like probably wondering what the hell this thing was. So, yeah, it was, I just got in a goofy mood, like one thing that's new, I've been taking some classes, hoping to get into some computer programming down the road. So I've been doing that. So after 12 o'clock of doing classes, I'm like, you know what? I'm talking to my friend Justin, I figured let's get a song going. So, I just figured, put something out there.
Yeah. So this podcast encouraged you to.
Yes, it did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I don't know.
That's good. It's good because like when I was doing this every week, it also helped me be more productive.
And that's the thing. Yeah. It's like I like this a lot just because it just gets me to like think. Just gets me to think of like different areas of like kind of creativity in my life. Ways I can just like influences me to play some stuff, really, just to play again, honestly.
Yeah.
Like with me playing my trombone, that was, I just play whatever, I think, honestly, in terms of improvisation, one of the verses that didn't make into the song was, I'm not Wycliffe Gordon, I'm not Trombone Shorty, or whatever, because I'm not, many ways. But like, when you see people that you want to emulate so bad, but like, the sky, they're way up there and like, where you're at in terms of like what you perceive as your limitations as a musician. Yeah. It's like, I feel like that's probably one of the most limiting things you could do that I've realized.
Compare yourself to others.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially like Trombone Shorty, for God's sakes, when somebody I love so much in terms of what I would like to do as a musician, play rock and shit on your trombone to God knows whatever genre or whatever, right, what I mean? Like, and like look like a rock star doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, dude, I want to do that stuff so bad, but it's like, I don't practice. Right, but really, that's really what it comes down to. It's like, not to necessarily, like, a whole thing about like, not trying to be the second person, but being the first you sort of a thing. But it's like, sure. I think that's really what it is for me. It's like, I've always been, hell, even that lick, that da-da-da-da-da, that's from Def Leppard, for God's sake. That's from, that was from Portion Sugar. And, like, I realize, when I think about the stuff that I write, I'm like, I do think a lot of times I get away with so much stuff, whether it's like I'm stealing progressions from songs that people may not know that I've stolen them from or whatever.
Well, that's music.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, you know what? Like, why not? It's like, if I feel like, at the same time, like whenever we do create, having some limitations are good because it allows you to, okay, if you work in this confined box, you're automatically going to find ways to make it work within that box. Whereas like if you have like a wide open space, anything's possible, but it's like, it can sometimes be paralyzing, where you have so much freedom. But yeah, like I think when I was writing that song, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to, just put it out there, just like that could just be me. I think, the Oxford 3 a.m. was like, yeah, that was my state of mind. I'm in this small ass town in Oxford, 3 a.m. This is what happened. Did you also catch
It's almost like a rap song.
It is just like a rap song. Yeah. Just like, that was my state of mind at that time, like.
Yeah, tired rap.
Tired rap. Yeah. And the thing is, I just kept going. I'm like, honestly, if it weren't for the fact that we're going to meet, I'm like, this song is garbage. We're just going to throw
well,
this away.
That's kind of a good way to stay productive too, is to like you have a time limit here.
Exactly.
It doesn't, and also like it doesn't need to be that good. No, it's just going to be on my podcast.
It's going to be right, exactly. Yeah, right.
So it's just like what kind of song can I make in like the next 2 hours?
Exactly. And just
have fun in that kind of like limitation.
Exactly. Too. I think anymore. I feel like I don't know about you, but it's like I don't know if it's because we were in school where like we were encouraged to not necessarily compete, but to like produce. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Where like obviously it's for a grade, you grad, and obviously perfection, blah, blah, blah. As you get in the real world, I'm like, I don't know, man. It's like, there's only so much that it sounds self-defeating, it's self-limiting or whatever, but it's like, I got to start with somewhere that, I can at least plant my 2 feet and do something, and then we can work, and then I can like shave off some of the rough stuff, Yeah. I think that's something that I haven't done in the longest time, actually. You know what I mean? Like, even just playing just for sheer enjoyment. Cause like, I'm always, I'm always, self-critiquing everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that sounds like shit, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, even just practicing, you know what I mean? Like, where, like, even when you're talking to yourself, you're already, like, doubting exactly what you're saying, what the other what you think the other person would say to what your ideas are. Mm-hmm. Like, I find myself kind of getting into those traps too, where like, you just want to put yourself out there. You want to express your idea and leave it at that, and maybe you can come revisit that later and refresh some things. But I realize, man, I'm getting too I just want to put myself out there, and let it go,
Right. Yeah.
And like, if I need to reevaluate something or whatever for one reason or another, then I'll do it,
Yeah.
But
I think that my experience going to grad school for composition sort of helped me like unlearn that kind of impulse. Yes. Where like the idea of like you have to spend a whole bunch of time on this one thing and make it perfect.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think I just like impose that on myself, because that's like, if people want you to produce more work, like you clearly have to spend less time on it.
Exactly.
but I had this thing in my head where like, I don't know what I'm doing and I need to like figure out what I'm doing through this like endless process of refining my idea. But then like, as I was going through grad school, I was like, okay, I guess I do know like enough about music to like just write.
To just
write. Not like agonize over every little piece of it.
Thank you.
And then
yes.
And then like my 2 years there, it was like the pieces that I spent, the end product is not like proportional to how much time you spent on it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much ever. Like,
right.
Like there were pieces I wrote as part of like a 24-hour like fucking exercise thing.
Exactly.
I guess I can say the F word because we're recording at home.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. Yeah.
I didn't swear at all until just now.
No, it's all good.
I was in iHearIC mode where I don't swear.
Hey, man, it's your house.
But yeah, the stuff that I wrote in 24 hours, it was like people liked that as much or more than the stuff I spent a whole semester like trying to work on.
Dude, that's the thing. Even for my senior recital, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like all this time I've tried to curate for music that I've written in the past 3-4 years.
Uh-huh.
It's not like I wasn't proud of myself.
Right.
Because like I was, but like the time it took to get there, the payoff. I mean, I'm not necessarily looking at the payoff at that moment. Like, I don't want to say I spent $30,000 just so I can feel good about a senior recital, for God's sakes. Like, there's got to be some sort of like, there's got to be something tangible or intangible to that, that I can take with me or whatever. And like, I think you're right. It's, there's some things, at least, well, I didn't necessarily attend grad school or whatever, but it's like, in terms of like, I think I've gotten a lot as a musician. I would say thanks to Co in terms of the connections that I've made. Mm-hmm. Of course, like I cherish.
Well, that's what I got from school the most.
Exactly,
just meeting people who are like me.
Yeah. Exactly. And the one thing I think I've learned too, it's like, and I think I read this like from like a trombone thing. It's like that I've been reading recently. It's that ideas come from two places: yourself and other people. Right. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. It's like, instead of like trying to learn stuff in the book, I mean orchestration and like counterpoint and things like that. Of course, like, I didn't really read those books that much. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry, teachers. But it's like, I think that obviously it shows here's where the tools are, and here, and like, go play. You know what I mean? I think that's something I wish I had took more advantage of when I was at Co. And like, even in general, like just getting a chance just to play for playing's sake.
Yeah.
I think with the class we took together, that computer music workstation was the first time I was able to actually feel like, hey, this is fun. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just getting a chance to like do crazy stuff like that, I guess. I don't know.
And there's less limitations.
Way less limitations.
Yeah. You're making it all yourself. You're not relying on, writing music for other people to play and whatever. But speaking of, getting ideas from other people, and like you said, you stole chord progressions and riffs and whatever. Where were those vocal samples from in that song?
You're going to laugh. Okay, so Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, I didn't even recognize his voice. Which was that whole thing Macho Man?
Yeah, that whole thing was Macho Man.
Oh, wow.
Swear to God.
I thought I would have recognized that.
So the bit about second, third breakfast and me being diabetic, that's all Duroje Gwamna because those are things that I do.
Yeah, the stuff that's your voices.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I put down the Switch when I leave because I sleep with my Switch every night. The Switch is somewhere in my covers. I just need to find the damn thing.
I pretty much always leave mine in the dock. Right.
That's probably the way I should too. And yeah, like
I just play on this TV.
That's probably the way I should do it, man. It's probably better for your.
I like seeing it, bigger.
Yeah, that means you're probably not going to get that new Switch anyway, right? Like,
I'm not planning on it.
There's no way.
Yeah.
That's and they're hard to find too.
That's true. They're not quite as bad as the PS5.
Oh my God, that's another thing. But it was Macho Man. It's funny because the line is called "It happened so fast you can't even talk about it." Yeah. He was talking about Mean Gene Okerlund was. He was in the 80s and 90s in wrestling. He was like the guy that interviewed all the wrestlers after matches or before matches. Uh-huh. And apparently Macho Man, and like at work, I hate to say it, but I like to fuck around at work a lot, and I watch videos and stuff like that, including this one with Macho Man and Mean Gene Okerlund. But he was talking about, apparently he beat somebody so fast that he couldn't even talk about it. And like he was talking about Tito Santana, you're nothing but garbage or whatever. It was just an and the thing is my wife would kill me because I would just come up to her and be like, it happened so fast you can't even talk.
Yeah.
I just like if you listen, and the reason I put it in there is like if you isolate what he just said, if you just take out the context, you're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Even during listening to that interview, I'm like, what are you talking about, Macho Man? Like, I mean, granted, dude was on some sort of like mind-altering drug at the time too, because that's Macho Man. But like, I guess I don't know
a lot about him like biographically.
I don't either.
He did
but
a lot of drugs.
I could probably from like as far as YouTube commenters said, but like
if historians,
if you look at his mannerisms and stuff like this intensity, you can tell. Like
you got to take some chemicals to get to that place.
I think so. Yeah, but it's like I don't know when I use like this YouTube to MP3 software to kind of grab that sample just because it's such a goofy line.
Yeah.
And it sounds like something that I would say to like my wife, which I did say. She's like, Duroje, just stop saying that right now.
Yeah. Ashley and I get a lot of that stuff too. Where like, have you ever heard of Longmont Potion Castle?
No, I have not. No.
He's a guy who he does prank phone calls. So he has like, I think like 16 or 17 full albums of prank phone calls.
You're kidding.
He's been doing it since like the late 80s. And he also plays like thrash metal. So there's like really good instrumental stuff on his albums too. But anyway, he's very like unique. Like no one else talks like this guy, like the mannerisms he uses.
Right.
So we'll get these like little fragments of things he said just in our heads, and we'll just repeat them to each other all day.
And it's just like your thing. That's hilarious. Longmont
Potion Castle.
Longmont Potion Castle.
Longmont is a city in Colorado.
Right, Longmont. Yeah. That's what I figured. Yeah, and then Potion Castle is just 2 words.
I guess. I don't know where you got that from.
So that'll be next on my streaming list.
There's like one where he calls up this like barber shop, and he wants to buy a gift certificate for his friend for this barbershop, and he asks to buy one for like thousands of dollars. I forget the exact number, but he says he wants his friend to be able to get haircuts there for years and years and years and years. So that's just one of the things we keep repeating to each other. Years and years and years and years.
But it's funny though, like you have these things, like nobody's going to take that away from you guys, that like that's your thing, and like we have I'm not going to embarrass my wife in TV, but like, on this, but it's like, there's a lot of like, it's like even when you're trying to explain what you explained to me takes a lot of bravery and courage because it's like, nobody's probably heard of Longmont Potion Castle or whatever, but to explain that's a big deal. I'll have to tell you later because like, it's very specific.
You got something embarrassing?
It is. It's from an AC/DC song, Thunderstruck.
Yeah.
When he's like, Thunderstruck.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll just say words in that whole thing.
In that cadence.
Tuna salad or whatever, ice cream time. Yeah. That's me and Sarah's thing. We use Thunderstruck and then we substitute words for that, it's really dumb.
Well, you said that you were going to tell me after the
show.
Now everyone's heard it, so.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that's
I could tell you after the show too, by the way. Me and Sarah do this.
More embarrassing.
More embarrassing.
Yeah, the problem is like like we don't like actually hang out with people that much anymore.
I hear
because of the pandemic and everything. But
yeah,
but separating like the way we talk to each other when it's just us,
which
to an outside observer would be like insane.
Yeah, same.
But like sometimes we'll like get into that like with other people, and it's like, oh yeah, they have no idea what we're talking about.
They have no idea what we're talking about. Yeah, it's so one thing I don't know if this is something that, and I think even prior to the pandemic, me and my wife, we came up with this whole motif of chicken. Called all our close friends and frankly anybody.
Well, I've heard that before.
Yeah. That, I'm telling you, man, I'll just come out and say it like it's weird. We've done this for several years. It just came out of nowhere. Like I just called my wife a chick, and then she just reacted positively to it. And now fast forward later, we have chicken things all over our house.
You have a whole roost.
We really do. We have stained glass window of like a damn rooster. Like, like where we let the dog out. So the sun kind of comes in there. We have like a painting of a chicken. We have a damn Hinge soap dispenser. We have all sorts of shit that like we have a lot of chicken stuff.
Yeah.
Just from that one damn time I called her chicken.
Yeah.
Now it's all the time. Yeah. So
speaking of home decor, I might forget this, but if I say it now, maybe I'll remember.
All right.
When you got here, you said you liked those.
I did.
Those pins on the wall.
I wish you could show them how cool that is.
Yeah, I want to make sure Ashley knows that you like them.
Yeah, please do.
You know what? Why don't I just put the camera on
Please
those
do it.
for a second so people know what we're saying?
This thing is
so
cool.
I'm going to go off the mic for a second.
Do it.
I'll just let everyone see the pins there.
I think it's so cool.
There's pins on the wall here. Oh, no one can hear it because I'm not on the mic.
Oh.
There's pins on the wall there over the piano. I forgot I took from the mic.
I just like how it's just a cool aesthetic.
So anyway, Ashley, he likes those. Oh, geez, the cameras.
It's all good. It beats that one time that actually burned black beans on the stove. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
That was ridiculous.
About a year ago. Yeah, the last episode of this we did.
I think Sarah, she's like,
we ended short because like a fire.
There's an actual fire this time. Yeah.
I forgot. I should have brought that up before.
You should. I was like, hey, how's your culinary
last year when we did this? Yeah. I was thinking maybe it would be fun if you played a little bit and I like mess with the pedal.
Yeah.
And we try to get some weird sounds out of that.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. If you want to try that, let me put myself through here for a second. And we can find maybe a good, let me turn the reverb and the delay off.
No problem.
Okay, maybe I can find a good overdrive here. This? No, I don't like that one.
Good.
This?
No, that's here. This one's kind of cool.
I like that one, yeah.
You like that?
I think that would work pretty well with this guy, yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Perfect. Perfect.
Alright.
That was cool.
I really want that pedal thing now. That thing's awesome.
Oh, I think probably none of what you just said came through, but yeah, you said you like the pedal.
I'm telling you, like, it's funny because we're talking about how, like, a while ago, you know, you had like your analog way of like manipulating stuff, and I screw around with everything like digital and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like how like those two ideas kind of come together, you know, and like kind of bounce off new stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, what I really like about
this is a digital pedal, but it's like it's got physical knobs.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. It's like I think ever since because I've been picking up guitar. Not very good by any stretch of the means because you know I don't practice.
Yeah,
not good, but
neither am I. I mean, people saw and heard me. I was just playing like, okay, here's a C.
Here's a C, right? I'm like, it's people ski, but it's like I think even with trombone, it's like being able to like play whatever. It doesn't have to be like Holst or anything crazy, anything old school, it's like, it can also be an improvisational, it could be a tool to create sounds as well, like it doesn't have to be pristine. I mean, that's not a good, like, you don't tell it to a fifth grader, obviously. You want them to not suck, ultimately, but it's like, right. As a musician and stuff like that, I think it's okay now. I think the more I've been playing, just, with the Oxford song or whatever that I created, it's like, it's cool just to do stuff that makes sense to you, or it doesn't have to make sense. Mm-hmm. It just like, it's something that if you find a medium that you like, and you're able to refine it even further, to match your sensibilities and you had fun doing it, then that's a win.
Yeah.
Hell, it doesn't even have to be refined. You know
right,
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, pretty
exactly.
much the hurdle for me has always been, just actually doing it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. You don't want to spend too much time thinking about, is this the right way to do it?
Yeah.
Should I do it?
Exactly.
Do I really want to do it?
Yeah.
If you just like start, then you have something.
Exactly.
It's just getting started. That's trouble sometimes.
That's been
hang on.
No
what
problem.
Is this effect here?
Yeah,
check.
Is that like a LFO kind of?
I guess it sounds like it's doing like a pitch thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I switched from the pitch shifter to this while you were playing, and I was like, oh wow, there's like a crazy vibrato now.
There's some stuff there that sounded like straight ahead, like there sounded like straight ahead SNES or like Genesis. I'm like, all right, somebody got zapped in a video game, and I like it.
Yeah. Actually, Longmont Potion Castle does a lot of weird vocal effects too while he's doing his prank phone calls. He'll just like suddenly he'll sound like this.
That sounds like something my wife should like listen to sometime and just check out.
Yeah, it's very weird. There's some stuff that you'll enjoy in that.
And of course, with what you do, I think about a lot of Reggie Watts too. I feel like that's
he's awesome. Yeah,
it kind of feels like that's our intersection. Is Reggie Watts as a person? I feel like
I almost like got to see him live, but I didn't know who he was at the time, so I wasn't like paying attention.
Dang it! So
he was at a festival that Ashley and I went to, and Chelsea Dunn was there too, our friend.
Where was his at?
This was in L.A.
Oh man,
in like 2013, I think.
That would have been right. That would have been like right when he was gonna like when people started to know about him. Right?
Yeah, he was like on Comedy Bang Bang and stuff. Yeah,
I love Comedy Bang Bang.
But yeah, the way he just like has a bunch of like effects stuff. And then he like loops his voice, and I think he just improvises almost all that stuff, right?
Yeah. He reminds me a lot like Mark Rebele. Yeah, who I really would want to see sometime. Yeah. He's like, now that's like the other side of Reggie Watts. If you don't know Mark Rebele, definitely look at the song Get Up. Mm-hmm. And then Vaccinated Attitude is a good one. Have you heard of that one?
I don't think so.
That one's really good.
I'm not like deep into this guy. I sort of know who he is.
He's rapping about Pfizer and Moderna and how you should get vaccinated. Yeah. So, and I'll have to send that to you. That one's good.
Yeah. How do you feel about the vaccine?
How do I feel about it?
We haven't really talked about COVID at all on this.
It hurts.
Because it sucks.
It sucks a lot. It's hilarious. So I shouldn't say this, but I remember one time though, like I think so we had to go to the hospital to get like a checkup or whatever for my wife and stuff like that. She's been feeling better and everything, but like she had to get like some sort of injection or whatever. And then like the doctor or whatever asked her, like, so like, how do you feel right now? Like, how's your pain level? She's like, well, the shot hurts. I just laughed just because like, I shouldn't, but like, sorry, I put her on blast, but like, yeah, I feel great about him, man. Like, I got, you know, it sucks just because, you know, obviously it was inevitable that people were going to raise a stink about it. You know what I mean? Like, because people are dumb. I mean, we can't have nice things in this country. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Since, you know, like, it's funny because the spring, it seemed like, I should have known that, you know, this spring things seemed like, you know, we're going to go out and like,
I think we were so desperate.
We were desperate. Exactly. Like, you know, put me in front of people right now, put me up out of traffic, you know, do something, you know, put me in front of people. It doesn't matter. But now it's like shit, you know, like we're taking a big step backwards and like, do people even care? You know, care anymore about COVID and shit? Like,
it sucks.
It sucks, man.
Like, sort of, just like a division.
Yeah.
And people say that shit all the time. Like, oh, we're so divided as a people. But I'm like talking like a real division where there's like the people who got vaccinated and the people who won't. Yeah. And it's like we're living completely different
realities. Exactly. The people that like talk about fake news, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and people that like, you know, that like you and I, you know, they're like trying to do the right thing, trying to do the thing for you know, for what's best for common man or whatever. And you got these folks that like, I don't know what's, you know, what bizarre world or whatever, but it's like get a clue, man.
Well, like, people talk, maybe, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but people talk about how there's a lot of like hesitancy among black people about the vaccines.
No, we can talk about it.
Have you experienced that with like people you know?
I mean, people I know. That's a very valid question. I think part of that, you know, that's a great question because like, I think a lot of it does come from the fact like, where it's not necessarily like a left or right thing in terms of that methodology, but I wonder though if it's because of like the fact that Black people in general, when it comes to like health things, like we're notoriously bad at it. And the reason why I think it's because of the fact that like we get shit on when we go to the doctor. Like, you know, they don't take us seriously. You know what I mean? Like that's a real thing. Like, you know, we're done, you know, we could talk about like, you know, I know like, I think I'll put my mom on blast. But I think my mom, she was talking about, she wanted like some sort of legal drug when I was born, I think.
Like for the birth.
For the pain, you know? And I don't think they took her seriously because she asked for the wrong drug. She asked for cocaine. You don't ask for cocaine. I mean, you know what I mean? So like,
well,
you're right.
But they're not going to give her that.
They're not going to give her, you're right. Nobody should give her that. But like, I think there's a big stigma when it comes to like how, like the treatment with like, especially people, you know, Black people of color, especially when it comes to like the health kind of field, you know, like in terms of like pain, things like that, you know, I think that's a big part of it, you know, and they're thinking like, why ain't I gonna get no damn vaccine, you know, because of like, you know, and, you know, we can talk about the Tuskegee experiments.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, I think, I wonder but frankly, of me, honestly, not knowing much about it.
Yeah.
But now that I know that, okay, well, yeah, that's, you know, okay, so that's the thing that had happened.
I don't know a ton about it, but I know that,
right,
like,
exactly.
They experimented on black people.
Exactly. So, like, I'm sure that's a lot of, you know, a lot of people's hesitancy could be based off like, whoa, damn, like I'm no experiment. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they're probably thinking of it from that lab rat sort of like, whoa, shit, are we expendable?
Yeah,
like, is that how we're,
you know what I mean? Trust these people.
Exactly. So I think that's where it's funny because like, you know, when it comes to the black experience, I think, you know, if we're, you know, this might be on a different podcast, but it's like when we're talking about like the black experience and we're talking about like, you know, like what's going on now, you know, especially with like, you know, how the left are trying to like corral, like when it comes to like, you know, like when you're talking about like voting stuff or whatever, like, you know, you look at like Black people that vote Democrat or whatever for the longest time. That's been something that, you know, it's like a voting block that's just kind of lived in a pocket. Like, we can't assume that anymore. You know, it's like assuming that, you know what, like they're gonna think exactly, you know, they're gonna think exactly how we would want them to think. You know, they're gonna take our side for everything.
Well, yeah, it's been that way since probably like the civil rights.
The civil rights, exactly.
Civil Rights Act.
The Civil Rights Act, exactly.
Yeah,
but it's like
that came through because of LBJ.
LBJ,
who was a Democrat. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, and like I think. Now people are saying, you know, it's like, it's not, you know, like one big thing right now is the Dave Chappelle special, you know, and like, you know, it's got a lot of people.
The one where he says some shit about trans people.
Exactly. Yeah. You know,
have you watched it?
I did watch it.
I did not.
It's hilarious. Yeah. But like, I know why people are upset about it, but it's like, I think the reason why people are upset about it is because like, you know, we got, you know, LGBT folks that are really, you know, that, you know, it's a very, you know, it's a touchy thing for a lot of people, you know, and it's definitely something that, you know, there's a lot of awareness for it, you know, and like, it's a big deal. You know what I mean? Like it makes perfect sense to stand up for that kind of stuff, you know, but it's like, I think one thing though, that a lot of people are seeing like, yo, like this, where he's like pushing this button or whatever, is that like, wait a minute, if I can make fun of black people and stuff like that and y'all laugh, but I can't make fun of, LGBT, and like now that's a problem. I think that's one thing that like people are saying like, this is not right. I don't know.
Yeah.
It sucks just because it's like...
He's tough.
Exactly. It is
He's
tough.
done a lot of funny stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He seems kind of hung up on the trans thing.
It is, yeah. It's too bad just because, like it's, like the dude's one of my heroes, but it's like, now it's like become like, damn, like when I hear the word cancel culture, I roll my eyes just because, like shit, like who's next? But it's like,
well, he'll be fine.
That's right. The thing is,
it's been like the last like 3 specials he's put out. It's been the same thing.
It's been the same thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
He's bulletproof, and it's like, okay, so my thing is like, now that we know that Dave Chappelle is literally impervious to cancel culture, like, okay, how do we move on from this? Like, what's the takeaway from this? Like, like, is it that like, should we make it like a decree that nobody's allowed to like make these type of jokes? You know what I mean? Like, is that really the case, or is it something else? You know what I mean? I think that's one thing I'm thinking. It's like, I mean, yeah, obviously, some of those jokes are pretty bad, like really bad. But at the same time, I don't know. It becomes something where it's like, I know a lot of really close people or whatever, whether it's on Facebook or personally, that identifies in such a way.
Right. Yeah. I know.
And it's just like,
people. Yeah.
Exactly. And you're like, shit, man, some of those jokes were pretty damn funny, but it's like, but what do? You know what I mean? Like, it's the first time I've really like kind of like reckoned with like, you got both sides, and I hate the word sides. They belong in like KFC or when you're ordering food. But like when you kind of have to cater towards two different sides or whatever, or two different demographics, if you will. But really, I'm just trying to do my own damn thing.
Right? Like you don't want it to be like black people are pitted against gay people.
Exactly. That's exactly. And that's the thing, though. It's like hell. Like back in the '60s, for instance, like I had no idea that with like the whole like civil rights thing, like you had like, we are also just coming with this. We're also trying to reckon with like, with anti-Semitism as well. And like and now those two sides are fighting as well at some point, where like,
like a black and Jewish
exactly
kind of conflict.
Yeah, exactly. In some, at least in some cases that was the case, where like, the Jewish diaspora, wanted to, they wanted to feel like, hey, yeah, we're part of this whole civil rights thing too. And as they were, but it's like, and as they are, but back then it's like, it seemed like it was, I feel like when people think about racial stuff, it's always literally just black and white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, they just, and why wouldn't they? Because that's usually when people think race, they think of someone that looks like Duroje Gwamna.
There's number 1 and number 2.
Number 1 and number 2. Yeah. Like you're at the dental place, you're at the vision place. Is it number 1 or number 2? Exactly. Whereas but really it's a lot more nuanced than that, I think, when it comes to like, I don't know. I feel like
there's more than 2 races.
There's more than 2. Exactly. There's more than 2 races. There's more than one way to frankly even talk about it too. There's more than one way to like, I don't know. Like it's obviously I support, talking about the critical race theory stuff. I support all that shit. My son's going to be like, he's going to be just like, what's a Huey Newton? He's definitely going to be woke like that. But he lives
Huey
in
Newton Gwamna.
Huey Newton, HNG.
Just name him that.
Yeah, HNG. He's not going to be. No, he lives in Oxford, so he kind of has to tune. He might have to tune that down when he goes to like the the gas station when he gets some candy. You might have to tune the Huey Newton down to like Brian Gumble or somebody that like people can you might have tuned that down to like exactly, like he might have tuned down to Will Smith or like or what's his name the guy that Nick Cannon. He might have tuned in Nick Cannon when he gets there. But
Nick Cannon had some anti-Semitic stuff, I think.
Yes, he did. Good God. And that's the thing. It blew my mind. Like, like how is it that like, we go through some of the shit and there's still all this intersectionality and like there's still a lot of like bullshit with that. I'm like, you think that, we would have gotten it right the first time after, the MLK stuff. But yeah, now it's just like, it's just kind of like, it's evolved into like, more like insidious ways. Yeah. It's like shit, like how do we deal with this now? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched like early Eddie Murphy stand up?
Oh, no, it was raw, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
Yeah. It's been a few years, but yeah. Yeah, I mean the stuff he said about gay people back then is like, oh,
exactly.
Jesus, man.
If Bernie Mac was still alive, he would have, dude. Like he would have gotten much harder than Dave Chappelle would have. Yeah, like no, exactly. it's, I don't know if it's because of the climate that we're in right now where, let's be honest, like, it's not, I don't like the idea of like, I want to be, being respectful to people. That should be a no-brainer. You know what I mean? That's, if you don't do that, like that's, your shit. You know what I mean? You got to be respectful. You got to be, I don't like the idea of just tolerant. You have to like, I feel like you do have to respect their essence. You know what I mean? I respect that,
That's a step above tolerance.
Step above tolerance.
Yeah,
I think so. Just, I think that's kind of like, that's all I'll say about it, like just, that's, but I feel like when people think about the golden rule, I think they have their idea about it, but it does vary. So I feel like, I wonder now, I feel like there needs to be.
Yeah, like what if you want to be treated badly?
I was say, right? Somebody's raising their hands like, so about that stand up, like I think it could have gotten harder. But like, I wonder though if I think like nowadays, I feel like I wonder if people are asking for a new standard because clearly in the past, I feel like the standard was set to like baseline. You know what I'm saying? Like just don't kill each other for the love of God. God's like, you know what? Just don't kill each other. Yeah. We fine. But it's like you got one side that's like, well, hurting people's feelings, blah, blah, blah. And, they get upset about it or whatever. Yeah. And you got, the other side that's preaching humanity, equality and stuff like that. But it's like, it'll be nice just to, like, I don't know, man. There's no easy answer, I guess.
Yeah.
But I wish there was.
It's weird. Yeah. It's weird. It's not like a very simple, well, you said black and white earlier, but it's not like a simple, this is where someone has crossed the line.
Exactly.
It's like, and it depends on how funny it is. For most people, anyway.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, like the trans people I know, like they're not thin-skinned at all. Like, how could you?
How could you be, for the love of God? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like being an out trans person, like that's tough.
That is hella tough.
Yeah. Hell, even your own parents may have a lot of trouble with that.
Exactly. Yeah. Hell, even I'm sure just even like being gay, lesbian, in a small ass town. That's thin-skinned enough as it is.
Yeah, I just talked to like a non-binary person who grew up in Wall Lake, Iowa. I don't even know where that is. It's like somewhere out small. West, but yeah, like they were like out as like a some kind of queer person growing up there, and it's like, damn, that was probably difficult.
Exactly. I feel like if you could do,
and they're like around our age, so
if you can do that, I feel like you can you're bulletproof in your own way, but it's like at the same time, it's like I don't know if there needs to be some sort of like re-education as far as like what it means. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Is it just that Dave Chappelle is old?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think that's really what it is,
Old and rich.
Old and rich. Yeah. I'm rich. Yeah. I mean, he'll admit it,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad we got to talk about it though. I mean, it's something that I've been thinking about anyway. So.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of like Norm Macdonald stuff since he died like not long ago.
Dude, his shit's funny.
He's a very funny guy, but he also like sometimes goes into like says some things that are like
I wouldn't really. Yeah, exactly. Like he made some
you
pretty.
Shouldn't say that. Yeah.
He says some pretty like some OJ stuff was pretty bad. Granted, like that's he was not afraid to touch some pretty.
Have we ever talked about OJ Simpson?
Have we? I mean, we could. No, I'm kidding.
That's old news.
That is old news. That is good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that was a pretty fun conversation. Do you want to close with this last piece of music here?
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. Let's talk about this one.
Yeah.
Zois is the name of the song. When we work, me and Justin used to work at West Music.
Mm-hmm.
That was an interesting time. So we used to work at West Music, and I was one of the front salespeople, right? Where I'd be selling kazoos or God knows what, and we would have to do like.
I remember you sold the tuba once.
I sold the tuba once. That was a whopping $70. Ridiculous. Should be like $300. Anyway, that's a long story. So I was doing a display, in the back, and like we would have to hang up God knows what sort of stuff. So we sold these scarves, and this is like right after the new year. It was 2015. And I thought, this is probably my finest work. We had these scarves, and I arranged them so it looked like 2015. You see where I'm going with this?
I see,
yeah. So, like, apparently, like, my calligraphy was pretty shitty because somebody was like, wait a minute, that looks like Zois. Is that Zois? I'm like, no, that's supposed to be 2015.
Right, yeah.
So, the reason I came up with, so the song's called Zois just because it brought me to this time when, like, 2015, before Trump was elected, before I became diabetic, before, like, when me and, when me and Sarah, this is like our 4th, 5th year we started dating, and like, things are going very good, and they still are going great, right. But like, hey, we were head over heels, doing the thing, like, and life was simple, like I wasn't necessarily worried about like, I was drinking, I was hanging out a lot, I was doing a lot of like, I was working at West, and that was one of the few times working there that I had a good time. You know what I mean? Like
making that display.
Thank you. That moment, making that display. It was so the song kind of encapsulates kind of like some of those feelings, around that time that I wrote that song. I wrote would have been 2015, shortly after the scarves.
Yeah. So this is kind of an old piece.
It's an old piece. Yeah. Yes.
It's funny how like we always have that nostalgia kind of like always like a few years ago was simpler than now.
Isn't it though? I feel like
in 2015 you were probably like nostalgic for college.
I was nostalgic for college, and back in college I was definitely nostalgic for like high school. It's always like it's almost recursive almost. It's like, damn it, like when does it stop? Like, can you be nostalgic about the future? Is that the thing? You know what I mean? Like is it ever going to get any better? You know what I mean? If I keep, do you ever fear that, like, damn, like I look back, like, when we got married, for instance, that was a good time or whatever. But like, what do you think about when like life just gets really crazy and you're thinking, damn, if I just rewound back, I wouldn't have to have worried about this thing. Like I would have been less stressed out or whatever, despite the excitement that's happening now or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a constant thing. It never stops, I feel like.
Yeah. A couple of days ago, I've been thinking about how like, it's not linear, and it's also not binary, like good, bad.
Yeah.
The way that life progresses. Cause like, since I quit my office job a couple years ago,
right on, man.
That was like an immense improvement in like my mental health and everything.
Thank God.
And like, so the past, since like spring 2019 to now, it's been both like one of the best times of my adult life, but also obvious reason being the pandemic. Also like unimaginably worse.
Exactly.
Jesus and like, Christ. I don't want to get too heavy, but like my friend Hannah committed suicide almost a year ago. And like that was a very like, obviously it's an irreversible change in life. And like, this is now like a marking point of my life where like I will always feel differently after this than I did before.
Than you did before.
There's some, like never, something is like permanently shifted in like my attitude and my, like it's something I constantly think about. And like, it's been almost a year.
Damn.
And like, I probably will never, like obviously there's no, cause like, she's just gone, and there's no way to like really overcome that.
That's, dude. I'm sorry about your friend, man. Like
Thanks.
again, I
didn't want to get too heavy.
No, dude.
It's relevant, I think.
It is. No, it's really relevant. It's, and it's crazy just because like this song, like it's almost too sappy. I swear to God, I'm not singing or anything stupid like that. But it's like, I think the idea of like, I guess if I were to ascribe some sort of metaphysical sort of like, tagline to it, it's like, the past is still, you can like kind of like fishing for good things from the past, being hopeful to the future, and like this sort of kind of like this steadfast, like, you wake up and it's a new day. Like if you think about like those very stereotypically like, happy things or whatever, if you can describe some sort of feeling to the song, it's supposed to be happy. You know what I mean? Like specifically, like almost cloyingly so.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, Jesus Christ, like turn down the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, put in a dead duck or something. Like, let's bring down the mood.
You're sort of isolating like one part of life.
Exactly. Yeah. Where like, and it's funny because I had a dream after I wrote this song, prior to writing this song. It's pretty fucked up. Like, I know you laid something heavy, but like it's pretty fucked up. But like I had a dream. I was drinking a glass of milk. I was in my old house. I set it down, and there was like a baby crocodile that was swimming in this milk.
Huh.
It was like, one of those like those inflatable monkeys that you put in the water and they grow up. And like they get bigger.
Do I?
you know what I'm talking about? Like, they're like one of those like little, like, they're like these plastic little sponge things you put into water and they expand. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Like they expanded like a washcloth.
Exactly.
I've seen that.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is the exact same thing that happened to this crocodile. So like I just turned around because I was done. First off, nobody drinking milk is disgusting. In my dream, I didn't apparently know that, but like,
so you don't, and you weren't drinking milk like in real life.
In real life, exactly. Okay. But in this dream, I loved milk. Huh. So like there's this baby crocodile that was in this milk apparently, and I knew it. And then I turned around, the glass of milk spilt, and this crocodile like just grew. Like as if he just drank the ooze, this milk that made him like double in size.
Yeah, and then the mutagen.
Exactly. It became this hell, there might have not even been milk. And like, and this crocodile just got bigger and bigger. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Dude, this is a crocodile in my house. My mom's going to kill me. You know, I'm kidding. That was the last thing. So like, I was running up the stairs, right? And this crocodile was chasing me and I think I died. And like,
wow.
You know, but the funny thing is, it's like, it was so vivid to me.
Right.
That like, wow, I have to like, the song was called Mystic Crocodile. Like, you know, it wasn't a happy song, but like, I'm able to reascribe like something more meaningful after I wrote it. I felt like after I had such a vivid and screwed up dream like that, I still felt like I had to like release something just because it affected me so much.
Yeah.
Something as well, like, cause yeah, like, I don't know about you, but I don't die too often in my dreams.
Right.
Like, you know, but like to die by a crocodile, that will get you to write about something.
That usually like wakes you up.
That wakes you, exactly.
You get
I'm
to
like,
that moment. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Zoe is kind of, it's supposed to encapsulate like, you know, 2015, you know, if you think about it, it wasn't a bad year. I don't think it was a bad year. You know what I mean? Like, granted, last when I left West or whatever, they got rid of me. You know, like things are starting to happen a little bit. You know, a lot of interesting things in my life. You know, I had a social life. You know, and I have friends that I still keep in contact with. You know, a lot of things that were happening. You know, was in a committed relationship. You know, still, you know, am in a committed relationship. You know, like, yeah, it's basically an encapsulation of like the things that people that you take for granted. Mm-hmm. I think that's really what it was.
I see.
Or else you get bit by a crocodile and it's too late.
Right.
Yeah, I think I think I'll leave it there.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Let's listen to it and. That'll be the end.
That'll be the end?
We'll be done. We won't come back.
We're not going to come back.
So, thanks to everyone who listened and to probably the handful of people who are watching the video. And, yeah, hopefully, you know, I'll do some more iHearIC stuff before the year ends. But as I said at the beginning, motivation's been tough for this side of my life for a while. So,
yeah.
But, yeah, I would love to make more music. And I do miss doing radio. But, If it's just like my voice that you like on the show, you can hear more of it on the other podcast, Rock Hard Caucus, which Duroje's been on a couple times.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
We can talk. What were we supposed to talk about? We can talk about OJ at the Rock Hard Caucus.
We'll do a whole OJ episode.
That'd be hilarious. Actually, that could be quite an interesting episode. You know what I mean? We can just go. Yeah.
Well, let's not get into it here. We'll save it for later. But
it's good stuff.
Yeah, we'll close out with Zois, which is a piece that Duroje wrote back around 2015.
Yes.
And the Zois, ZOIS, as in 2015. Zois. All right, here it is.